Hi, everyone.
Hey.
I'm Alicia.
And I'm Meredith.
And this is Also Podcast, Vanderpump Rules, the new class edition, Season 12, Episode End. It is not the episode before the finale, unfortunately, like we thought.
No, I'm now getting even more angry. Shut this show off, please.
Especially because this show was literally nothing. This episode was nothing. So,
no, purely, I actually don't. I know I watched it because I posted all the quotes, I posted everything. But I thank God you take notes on this because I am ready to go walk through what the hell happened this week.
This is going to be a 30-minute episode. Before we get into it, check us out on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Patreon. All the links are in our description. And please be sure to rate, review, and subscribe. Okay, I didn't take that many notes because this was dumb. But previously on Vanderpump Rules, the new class, we had a good weekend away and everyone's friends, and we all apologize. Jason's brother called Chris to talk about getting mad bitches in Bali, and Audrey is scared this relationship isn't genuine. Angelica saw Jason's OnlyFans and thought it was incest, but Jason said it's not incest. Shane ended things with Angelica, but she tried to hook up with him and won't stop touching him. Great. I'm glad basically none of that matters in this episode. These are all new storylines. So thanks for reminding us. So 4 days later, we go to Rumble. Natalie and Kim are taking a class. They had so much fun on their weekend away. They're totally fine now. Besties again.
Just like Kim and Marcus's relationship, we're going to pretend like nothing happened.
Time heals all wounds. They haven't talked to Angelica, who got a boob job. That apparently you could do a boob job through the armpit, which I didn't know. That could be where your incision is. That's educational.
100% do remember it because I was also shocked by that. I was like, breaking news here.
I always thought it was under the boob, but what do I know?
What do I know?
I never got one. So they FaceTime her. She hasn't really heard from anyone. She heard from Demi. Shane applauded her story that she posted about her boob job, which is so criminal. That's so funny.
That's the nail in the coffin. Like the breakup, even though they were never dating in Paso Robles, was so awkward. But if you, like, what did he do? Fire or did he do clapping?
He clapped, I think. He, applauded it.
Clapping's worse. Clapping is so friend zoned.
That's so funny. But she's like, Shane isn't going to get any of this. But she says, it's basically nice. Or, I guess Natalie says that it's really nice for Angelica, who basically blew shit up in Paso and then gets to hide out in Houston getting her boob job for a week. So
that works out well. I mean, hey, if I ever get my boobs done, please remind me to blow up my life, cause a lot of drama, and then come back.
Get broken up with and come back. Yeah. So then we go to Villa Rosa, which none of these boys that show up have ever been to Villa Rosa because they are fucking shocked by Lisa's house. Chris, Venus, Jason, and Marcus cannot believe there are swans. They cannot believe. They've never met Hank, obviously.
No. And then when they go to the back, they're shocked by all the other animals. I was like, this tells me alone that you've never watched this show because Lisa's house has been featured so much.
The way I was watching this being I wouldn't even be that surprised by this house because I've seen it.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. So then Rocio answers the door, which is the same house person that Lisa's had forever, which was so funny.
That's a good sign. Lisa keeps her staff.
Nice to see her. Yeah, so Marcus has never felt more broke in his life. He still has a blanket he uses as curtains, which I think we can upgrade that.
That's not broke, my guy. That is you being a weird dude.
The thing is, curtains aren't that expensive. Actually, they're probably cheaper than blankets. So
facts.
Just an idea. So Jason fills some content as he's going through Lisa's house, which is so funny.
I loved it.
And they see Lisa's ponies. They're really digging all these pets. And then finally Lisa shows up and she's like, hey, losers. Hey, Venus, can we have a chat? The boys are here to do a flyer for Pride. And the theme is pool party at Sir. So Venus is hosting Gay Pride at Sir. And he wanted to get a nice pool poster, which no better place than Lisa's private pool. Obviously.
Wait, I just realized that, we knew we were going to get Pride because I was in the trailer of the season. If Pride is the finale, I'm kind of going to be annoyed because that they have to end it on a bang. And if they ruin Pride should always be happy, fun, go lucky. If they ruin Pride, we're done with this show.
The weird part is Pride always used to be beginning to mid-season of the old class. And now we're like ending with Pride. Has this whole show just been like 30 days? Like, I can't. It feels like it.
Feels like it.
It
You know
feels
how they
like
say
it.
about Heated Rivalry, like they had $3, 2 freaks and a dream?
Yeah.
I feel like that. Like they just were like, here's $5. Just like go around with a camera and see what you capture.
For 30 days. This is the same length as Heated Rivalry. And the content is way worse. Which is surprising because they have a way bigger budget. So I don't know what happened. This just proves that more money, more problems, you know?
It just it goes to show whoever you cast on the show matters.
It matters. Yeah, Venus is hosting Pride in 3 weeks, which if we're adding this to the time, I don't know what the fuck.
When is the show ending?
Where have we been? His vision is shirtless men, rubber duckies, dancing, and people fucked up. And Chris and Jason are the hottest men he knows. And then Marcus was invited to be the photographer. That's such a diss on Marcus.
Well, he's also acting like he's doing Marcus this big favor by letting him photograph this. And if Marcus was interested in photography, not DJing, I would understand.
Sure.
Like, you asking Marcus for a favor, no matter what terms you're on, isn't some grand thing that you're doing for him.
Marcus would have been happy to just sit in the corner and watch. He doesn't have to photograph it.
Yeah.
So Lisa asked how the trip went. Venus said it was really fun. There was some drama with Angelica because Angelica found Jason's OnlyFans and Lisa's like, I don't really care.
Yeah.
And then Venus is like, oh my gosh, I met a guy at a bar, but I was too shy and I didn't face him. I just put my back to him. And Lisa's like, okay, so how do you expect to date him? Which was hilarious. And then Venus says he just doesn't know how to talk to guys he's interested in because when he was younger, he was scared and he felt like he needed to run away because he was afraid of people finding out that he was gay. And then when he found out, remember, he grew up in Texas on like a small farm. So when he came out, he felt really rejected by everyone around him. He threatened to kill himself and then was sent to a mental hospital, which I am saying it with the same blase that he said it. Like, it was very just like he said it.
Yeah.
I don't mean to sound insensitive, but that's how he said it on the show. So I do just want to say that.
To deal with.
It's a lot.
I want to know more. I want him to not speak to Lisa about this. I want him to speak to like his closest friend about this or somebody else in the community who maybe he's getting to know. Like, this just felt like, oh, we're talking about Pride. So like, Venus, you're up. Like, share
give us your
some
sob
life
story kind of thing.
Yeah.
And the other thing is Lisa can't, I mean, she can relate on some level, but her immediate response is, my brother killed himself, right? So now we're like, which yes, we do know. However, it is about different things. And I just think like the gay community or like someone who's gone through it would be better to relate to Venus about this specific part, because I think the point is Venus was having suicidal thoughts because of coming out in a small town. So I think that's the part we have to focus on, not just the suicidal thoughts, if that makes sense.
And like what that would do to Lisa. Like, anytime somebody talks about suicide with Lisa, it feels like it becomes a Lisa thing then. And it's like, okay, but somebody else having suicidal ideation is not about you.
I think she tries to relate to be like, I understand the pain around suicide.
Yeah, it just doesn't come across to me well.
It doesn't.
She did that.
Agreed.
With Tom Sandoval in their final season and like trying to tell the girls of like why they had to like forgive him.
I don't
and
mean
I was
to
like,
laugh.
I'm sorry,
don't mean to laugh, but that
what?
Was so weird.
Like,
Never
that's
forget.
not like I genuinely understand and feel for Lisa for what that must have been like. I did enjoy hearing. I mean, I hated hearing about this, but like her talking about how she found out and like being in the interview chair, like totally understand that. But I just don't know if she knows how to relate or help people have concern for people, even if they dislike them, because Tom Sandoval definitely doesn't deserve enough hate to want to have like suicidal ideation ever. Nobody does. But I feel like she tends to like put a lot of burden on people, or like it just doesn't land for me as an audience. And I know that's such a heart-wrenching thing she went through. Like, it did whenever she was going through on Beverly Hills, but on Vanderpump Rules, it just doesn't ever strike the chord in me the same way.
I think because she's not saying like, oh, Venus, that's so hard. I have a background with suicide and like, I'm so happy you're still here. She doesn't like focus on that. She immediately goes to like, oh, well, my brother committed suicide. And it's like,
about my brother, right? Yeah, that's it. It's like she's not trying to connect with the person who's like sharing their story.
that. And so that it makes it like, oh, you're just telling your story that you kind of relate to. So yeah.
Yeah. And I wanted the Venus piece. Like, I want to hear,
I
is he
agree.
okay now? Like, is he more accepted in, like, Hollywood now? Like, that's the piece I want to know, is what his life is now, because a lot of the queer community goes through a really hard time when they do come out. And so I think in this notion of, like, in Heated Rivalry, like, going to the cottage, like, does Venus have his cottage moment? Like, is he happier now? Is he in a more accepting environment? Like, seeing that, like, story play out, like, into the future would have been nice for, like, Lisa to dig into.
Well, we don't get it, so keep dreaming.
Nope.
Instead, Venus tells us that he understands the feelings that Lisa's brother is probably going through and doesn't want anyone to feel that way. He can relate to having suicidal thoughts because of how he grew up. He was tormented when he came out. So pride is a representation of staying true to who he is. And then Lisa's like, awesome. Can you take these pictures so you can get out of my house?
Get the fuck out of here.
We do the photo shoot, and yeah, Lisa sees Chris and Jason's butts. Great. So then we go hiking with Audrey and her friend / roommate Parker. Audrey tells Parker about the situation with Jason's brother calling Chris to get mad bitches in Bali. I don't know what else to call this besides getting mad bitches in Bali.
I agree. And
oh, great.
I'm just like, okay, Audrey, what are we, because hasn't it been a week since the trip too?
4 days.
Okay.
It's been 4 days. So Audrey says that it all went great, but she's been thinking about the situation. She basically says men ain't shit, but she doesn't want to get hurt by one and like seems stupid by not seeing the signs if they're there, and she can't ignore red flags. And she says what really bothers her is Chris only comments about her physical body, not her personality, which that is fun. Getting mad bitches, let's look past. But this is a good thing to bring up.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Chris talks a lot about being on other shows and like comparing those shows and the relationships he was on in those shows to this show, which that is a red flag. That's a huge red flag.
When they cut in that audio too, I was like, okay, he definitely is talking about a lot of this off camera, but then for Bravo to like slice in that audio kind of awesome. Without any camera footage, incredible. Yeah. And I believe that. Even if she had just told me that, I would have believed her wholeheartedly. Sure. But then to get it, I was like, oh, that's brutal.
Yeah, so she just doesn't think she knows who Chris is 100% of the time. But they're going to Universal tomorrow, and Parker's like, geez, do you even want to do this date? And Audrey's like, not really, but we got Universal tickets, so
this is my nightmare.
Do it. It could be worse. At least they're at Universal. At least he paid for the VIP tickets, and we don't have to wait in line together.
Well, I also wondered, like, did the show set this up? Because if the show set this up,
this is crazy date. Crazy date.
If he set this up or we just like somehow did this on our own, I'm canceling. You can go with your friend, to be honest. I will find another way to go. I do not put myself in weird situations like this. Not happening.
She's got to end things with him, though. So why not do it at Universal? We'll talk about it.
This is why I don't want to be a reality TV star, because these are life experiences I never want to have.
I wouldn't either, but like if this was something I wanted, worst places to go on a date with someone I didn't really like.
No, but it would ruin Universal for me. Like, you're telling me the entire time I'm at this really cool experience, I am thinking about how I'm going to break up with you at the end of it, and then all of my memories of this are going to be with this me and I didn't even want to be with?
But I guess I'm not like a big like Universal person like to begin. It'd be worse to get dumped at you. If I'm doing the dumping, it doesn't ruin Universal that much for me. If I'm getting dumped, Universal's dead. So Audrey, yeah, she's gonna go. She's just gonna do the dumping and leave. And then in future years, she can walk past that place that she dumped Chris and be like, "That's where I did it." LOL.
And that's where it was,
and that's funny.
Good point. You know, there is a worse position to be in. You're so right.
You could be Chris. So before we go get dumped at Universal, we go to Sir really quick. Everyone's here for their shift. Kim checks in with Natalie about a drink a customer ordered, and then Marcus comes over and he's like, I love that we're friends. And Marcus tells the producer in the interview, he's like, I'm so happy we're putting this shit behind us. And the producer's like, oh, only until you decide to stir the pot again with them, right? And Marcus is like, oh my God, I'm so naughty.
I appreciated the producer clocking him, because you are the problem, sir. Let's not forget it.
So then this is Jason's first day off training. Demi says, thank God, because Jason has been training 4 times longer than the normal server, but he doesn't really need this job because he's making tons of money on OnlyFans with his cousin. So,
which That
leave
is the
the
crux
job
of the issue. Why can't Jason and Chris be like Shane? I don't need the whole cast working at SUR. I just need a core of them, and it ruins it. Like
I agree.
It's Jason, because being a bartender is not that difficult. We haven't had issues with Chris. It's Jason like pretending to be a bartender and then them saying this. I mean, like, oh, I don't need to be here.
They're clearly plants. Like, they're not even hiding that they're plants at this point.
No, this is on the casting people in the show. Like, I don't fault Jason and Chris for this. Like, they're going to take any opportunity they get.
Well, they get told if you want to be on the show, you have to work at SUR. They're like, all right, I guess I'm working at SUR then. Yeah. So Lisa's here. She does tell Marcus not to do that on the floor. I don't know what they were doing.
They were like cuddling, like hugging, kind of clearly like being somewhat intimate. And it's like, why are you doing this at the bar? Like, you guys are working right
Marcus
now.
like folded something, and I thought he was like,
no.
I don't
Lisa
know,
was like,
got
this.
It.
No.
Okay. But then Lisa's like, hey, I thought you guys broke up. And Kim's like, oh my God, that was like last week, Lisa. Get with it.
Lisa's brutal this episode, and I love it.
Thank God. Someone's got to be. Like, my gosh. Okay, so then they're going to put Jason in charge of serving Lisa's table. So Jason walks over. Lisa's not there. It's just this blonde girl and Ken. And he doesn't recognize Ken immediately, which is so rude.
He's not even mic'd up. Like, Ken is not mic'd up.
Yeah, so then Ken's like, hey, I heard you peed in my pool today. And Jason looks at him and is like, excuse me? And then he's like, oh, hey, Ken.
You're Ken.
It's you. I don't know who the blonde woman was. But then Lisa shows up and she's like, did you not give me my drink? And Jason's like, I don't know what you drink, which, my God.
Okay,
Tell me you've never watched the show.
And served Lisa, what would you get her if she said, do you know my drink?
A rosé.
Same.
I would get her a rosé.
Because we don't know the time of day it is. Because if it's, like early, if it's morning
someone else was
tea,
drinking wine. Someone else was drinking wine.
So it's like clearly alcoholic beverage. We're going rosé.
She drinks Vanderpump rosé specifically.
Then on Watch What Happens Live, he said like some type of cocktail, and I was like, no. How do you not know what Lisa drinks?
You're wrong. She drinks specifically Vanderpump rosé. Probably the only rosé at Pump. Or SUR, or wherever the fuck they are.
Not hard. Yeah.
No. There's one choice. Like, hello. And then, if it was morning, I might bring her like an English tea. Exactly. With some cream on the side. And if she didn't like that, then that's my bad. But the rosé,
at least I gave her the option.
The rosé is just one little pour. I know exactly what to do.
Here's the thing, too. All you have to do is go like, to Natalie, like, hey, Lisa wants a rosé. You don't even have to actually know.
Oh, yeah, no, the best part is when Lisa says, you can give me my drink, he could be like, 1 second, and go to Natalie and say, Lisa wants her drink. Hello, someone's gonna know.
You're the bartender. Like, this is your job, Natalie.
Yeah. So Lisa tries quizzing Jason. He doesn't know the menu, of course. He tries telling her that crab cake comes in a cake form. That was like so stupid. I had to cackle like a little bit.
And then the artichoke dip has artichokes.
Of course. Well, the crab cake comes in a cake form and has
it was the spinach dip. He was like, it has some spinach in it, you know?
And
I was like, really my God,
good.
This is worse than the goat cheese balls.
She's like, what's good in the eggplant? He's like, they got eggplant. And I was like, well, look out, world. He is so smart.
Like, he can't even try to fake it.
Yeah. So then Lisa's basically like, you're demoted to a host. And Jason's like, thank God I'm way better at a host. Which would be true, which would 100% be true. Now all he has to do is be like, come into SUR, we got goat cheese balls. He doesn't have to know what's in the goat cheese balls, even though it's in the name. He doesn't have, when someone goes, what's in a goat cheese ball? He could be like, that's my job is to get you seated. My job is to sit you down and then I'm done. This is way
with
better.
That knowledge will be with you in just one moment.
Yeah, and you can tell he doesn't want to work here because he does not care he got demoted.
That's my thing. Is like, that's why I will put some blame on Jason. Is like, Chris plays the part. Like, he can make a fucking cocktail. And being a bartender is easier than like learning the whole menu. But Jason like doesn't even pretend to like try to be a server. And there's no way he hasn't been a server before.
I don't know. I don't know enough about him and I don't want to learn. Honestly. So now we go to Universal. Chris and Audrey got the VIP treatment. They have their Hogwarts robes on. And as Harry Potter millennials, we got to talk about how Chris is a Gryffindor and Audrey is a Hufflepuff. And those are my two least favorite houses. Hufflepuff is the worst house, followed by Gryffindor, then Slytherin and Ravenclaw are tied because I'm a Ravenclaw and I wish I was a Slytherin.
I'm a Slytherin.
Nice. I love that.
My beef with Gryffindor is people who want to be a Gryffindor so bad, and I'm like, get out of here.
You're not actually. Well, I say I'm a Ravenclaw with a Slytherin moon. I want nothing to do with Gryffindor. Hufflepuff, I despise. I think that's the worst house.
I love a tried and true Hufflepuff, like cute, fine, whatever. But people also use it as a derogatory term, and I always find that funny because people get it's the wannabe Gryffindors who get derogatory to Hufflepuff are really up in arms about it, and I love seeing that interaction.
Someone once said I was. They were like trying to guess. They're like, "Are you a Hufflepuff?" And I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me? I've never been more upset." And they're like, "Oh, Gryffindor," and I went, "No,
you're like that.
Gryffindor. Everyone's a Gryffindor." Yeah,
no, they're not. If you don't know what house I'm in, you don't know Harry Potter, is what I tell people. I'm like, then just don't try to guess.
Clearly a Ravenclaw. Like, there's been no doubt. Thank you so much. So then, okay, Universal, right? They go get wands. They do the Harry Potter thing. I'm like, what are we talking about? Audrey's on the fence with Chris, but they had these tickets before Paso. So hopefully it's a fun time. We watch Chris fail to do some spell. Audrey does it. I think this is I'm so sorry. I'm about to alienate a whole community. I don't like theme park adults, Disney adults, these Harry Potter adults. Yeah. I understand going to Universal and being like, oh my God, it's Hogwarts. Never will you catch me standing outside a window doing a spell. I'm sorry, I won't. I won't do it. More. And honestly, I probably wouldn't even be that jazzed. I'd be like, this is a really cool representation of Hogwarts. I'm not going to be like, oh my God, we're in Hogwarts. Never in my life.
Because I'm so sorry. I'd be excited to like ride the train just to be able to see the like visuals of being inside the train because like you don't get to do that, you know? Like it's fun to see them bring it to life, but I'm not buying a wand. I don't want they were wearing those capes and I was like, that's my nightmare.
The whole time. I'm never going to have a beer.
But that's it.
Yeah, that's an experience. If you were like, oh my God, Alicia, let's stand in front of this window and do no, I got better things. Let's wait.
Especially if it doesn't work, I'm not standing there looking like an idiot.
I'd rather wait in line for anything than do a spell on a window. Like, I didn't even know what happened after a while. So I didn't care, but Chris really fails. And then they go on some rides. Audrey tells us she doesn't believe in dinosaurs and thinks someone made it up to make a ton of money.
Do you think she's joking?
You believe in dinosaurs, right? Like no, I believe in
dinosaurs. There's no belief. There's science. They find bones in the ground.
Because Chris was like, what about archaeologists? And she's like, obviously they're lying to make money. And I was like,
wait. Oh. She goes, I've never met one. And I thought that was the funniest thing ever because it's like, that's going to be my new bid. Is if somebody's like, oh my God, a basketball player. I'm going to be like, I've never met one.
I've never met one.
Like to any profession. Yeah, I've never met one. I don't think think they exist.
I was like, girl. She's like, a whole meteor took them out. And I was like, yes. Because then didn't that cause the Ice Age? Am I right?
You could argue with me about the meteor or something, but you can't deny the existence of all dinosaurs.
Like, there are bones. What do you think those bones are?
Do you think people bury those just to go find them later? Like,
do you think
people do?
People are archaeologists and they're just making fake bones to hang in museums. That's the job. What a weird, you think that people are being paid thousands of dollars to do
for the hoax of it all?
And what is the point of fooling us?
Yeah. That's what I always think about with hoaxes is like, what does somebody gain out of this?
There's like one guy who's probably dead now who's like, haha, I fooled the world into dinosaurs.
Like, you could convince me that, like, okay, museums make a ton of money, but they don't, it's not like they're raking it in and making millions of dollars.
Also, a lot of
fake bones.
A lot of museums are cheap or free. And even if you don't go to museums, you can learn about dinosaurs for free. It's so weird. Whatever, Audrey. I question.
This is like the astrology stuff. This is another tick for her on, what are you doing, girl?
Come on. So Chris says this is one of the best dates he's ever been on, but he's asking himself if he's ready to have a girlfriend. Ooh.
Which, that's in the interview chair, and I'm like, shut up, producers. Like, get out of here. I'm so tired of this relationship and this day.
They go sit at a table, and Audrey's like, hey, how do you feel after that trip? And Chris is like, I felt great, and I feel great about us because I'm not casually seeing everyone else, and I'm happy where we're at. And he's like, we either got to jump to the next step or not. And Audrey's like, no, totally agree. However, I've been processing like everything that happened with the Bali getting mad bitches thing. And I'm figuring out like what that next step is. And basically she says like, I think we communicated well, but I'm also like not really over it. And I don't think we have a romantic connection. And so I'm going to take a step back. And Chris is like, okay. And she's like, but we could be friends.
This is kind of confusing for Chris to receive, in my opinion.
I agree. The way it was presented, I didn't know if we were being dumb. I thought we were just taking a step back for a second, but it seems, because then she's like, we could still be friends. And then he was like, oh, we're not really friends. And she's like, I would go in that direction.
I was like, so what do you think we are? And what do you want to be at the end of this? Like, because they never were dating. Like, they weren't officially boyfriend and girlfriend yet. So this is kind of like the Shane Angelica breakup where I'm like, oh, this is just like a vague formality, but they're further along than Shane and Angelica. So I'm like, what is taking a step back? Like, is that a friend zone or not?
That's what she says. She's like, I know we're not friend vibes, but I'd like to move in that direction. So I think in a weird roundabout way, she was saying, I think there's no romantic connection.
We're done here.
We should just be friends.
Well, I think she's saying we do have a romantic connection. I just don't want to continue with it. Like, she's not like, oh, I never felt anything.
Oh, no, she kind of says she would love a more romantic connection.
Oh, okay.
Because she made it clear they're not really romantic. But yeah, she said I would like a more romantic connection, but we should move towards friend vibes. That's what confused me. Yeah. Just say we don't have a romantic connection.
Yeah. I think what's hard too is we agreed that when she was talking to Parker and then also in her interview, like the reasons she wants to break up with him for the show stuff and the comments he's making and him not putting in effort, that makes sense. The like fucking mad bitches, that being the only thing
in
she's
Bali.
using
in Bali.
Fucking mad bitches in Bali issue doesn't it's hard to anchor an entire breakup on that because he's not the one who made that comment. So like, and they kind of worked through it. So like, I get his confusion on this park day.
No, I agree. And then she walks away and he is sat there and he's basically shocked because he thought Audrey wanted to be with him. And I was like, but did he want to be with Audrey? Like,
Great
he's
question.
Not actually sad that he's not with, he's sad that because he
got
thought Audrey. Yeah, at Universal, which
Universal.
Yeah. So now forever when he goes to Universal, this is what he thinks about. But Audrey gets to giggle about it, which I find hilarious. But
true.
So then we go to Kim's apartment. She's unpacking. Venus has asked Marcus to DJ Pride, so he doesn't really care about his event.
No.
What about DJ McKenna? You know what I mean? Marcus is honored, but he doesn't know what songs to play. So Kim is like, hey, some Britney, some Gaga, maybe It's Raining Men. And he's like, are you sure? And I was like, yeah, those are good gay anthems. This was summer of, what was the new Lady Gaga song that I'm blanking on?
Oh.
Abracadabra.
Yes.
That's a gay, oh my God, Boots on the Ground. Is that it? Oh my God.
I'm so bad at music. Don't do this.
I am too.
My thing is, here's the thing. You asked me to put together a Pride playlist. Lady Gaga is anchoring 25% of that easily. How are you, a wannabe DJ who said you wanted to do this because you love music so much and you can't even put together a playlist?
Dude, right there, Britney, Gaga, throw a little Christina Aguilera in there if you're feeling spicy.
Look at the Hot 100 and like pull the top 5 off of there too.
Also, It's Raining Men is such a good song. I literally was like, oh my God, that is kind of a gay song. That's great. That's
like
great.
Clearly Kim just needs to anchor the DJ slot.
Yeah.
Marcus does better as the guy who's wearing sunglasses next to the DJ.
Marcus is so straight though. He doesn't even know gay songs. So like he's so straight. Anyway, so hundreds of people are coming to see him DJ, which that's incorrect.
Sure, if you need to believe that.
I think someone told us there was not 100 people at SUR during Pride this past year. And also, they're not coming to see you DJ. They're coming to try to see Lisa Vanderpump and maybe get some free shots. And then
not
he also
one
says
person.
he doesn't take requests, which maybe you should.
Because you have no clue what you're doing, you should take
You're not gay
requests.
enough. You're not gay enough.
Very good. This isn't about you, so you should take requests from the gays.
Truly. So then Marcus and Kim sit on the couch. They kiss. The relationship's going great. Marcus asks Kim if she would want to live with him. And she says something so relatable. She says, I love my own space. I was like, stay away, girl. Yep. Marcus says he feels like she only wants to live with him if she's pregnant or engaged. And Kim is like, yeah, basically.
Love it.
And
no notes.
Then Kim basically tells us that she's not on birth control, but she doesn't want a child. She's just bad at taking birth control. Okay, this is where it's weird because I stopped taking my birth control. I also don't want a child. However, I'm also not hiding that from my boyfriend and not raw dogging it with him.
That is, I don't take birth control because it makes me very suicidal. So, like, I can't.
Yeah, great.
I'm very open and honest with anybody I'm sleeping with about it. I track my cycle to make sure that we are extra protective when we really need to be. This whole segment, I was like, what are we doing as adults sometimes?
Disgusted.
Like, what are people doing?
I was disgusted. They're both fully on board with children, though. Even if their relationship doesn't work out, Kim believes Marcus will be a great dad, which, okay. And then Marcus is...
No. Alarm bells are ringing off of that. So I already didn't believe in their relationship, but the last thing I'm going to do with somebody who's my boyfriend, who I'm not using protection with, is going to say, hey,
even if it
doesn't work out, you could be a good dad. Because, like, if that is a thought in your mind already, like, yes, I think you should pick a partner who is always going to be a good dad no matter if you guys are together or not. Yes. But she's like, in her subconscious, like, yeah, that is the most likely path is we're not going to be together and I need you to, like, pick up the slack. And I don't think he would.
And Marcus says they're not trying, but they're not trying. They're basically doing everything that people who were trying would do.
What?
So they're just raw dogging sex. They're just using zero contraception. And Kim says she's not ready to be pregnant, but Marcus gets really excited whenever Kim's period is late.
No. I'm gonna have nightmares about this.
And then Kim has a timeline. She says engaged in 1.5 years, married in 2 years, and then child after ? But then Marcus says, like, but you want it in the next 2 years with me. And Kim says yes. And I was like, but what? Are we doing a child first? They were Lindsay Hubbard gave me a timeline. You have to be very specific with your timeline to me.
And hers mathematically made sense at every stage, even if I thought it was pressed for her relationship's sake, it made sense how it was outlined.
Like, when are we having a child? This is so weird.
Every don't do this box in my mind of rushing into this stuff.
No.
In a bad relationship. The timeline doesn't mathematically work. If they want that, they have to get engaged in the next year. And that really freaks me out for them.
When Marcus said we're not trying, that really...
like my nightmare.
That really was it. Okay, so then we go to a set of a vertical micro drama. So Shane is filming this. You might ask, what's a vertical micro drama? It's an 1.5 hour long soap opera-y movie that's cut into 2-minute episodes, which I said, Meredith, is this what we've watched before?
Alicia,
have we watched micro dramas?
Yes, we have.
Is that what this is called?
For weeks, I've been meaning to tell you that I saw Shane in a promo for one, and so I'm so happy this came up actually on the show.
If you find it, can you send it to me?
Which one? He said he's been in like a bunch.
I know, but if you find one, can you send it to me? Because I haven't seen any with Shane specifically. I
agree, because here's the problem, is it's like a disease that if you sit and watch one, you get 100 ads for that one and then all the others. So I have watched a few of these. I've watched probably 3 in my life of these vertical drama things. Because they just get me. Once I've watched 50% of it through the ads, I must watch the whole thing.
If it gets really good, it gets really good, okay?
But I've only seen Shane's ad once, and it's because he posted it. So I didn't, like, get the chain reaction of, like, seeing the rest of it.
Got it. Well, he makes 10 to 15K per micro drama, which let me tell you, these actors are so bad. They're being paid 10 to 15K for this. Meredith, we are in the wrong line of work. And he does 9 a year. That's 90K plus.
I'm so proud of him. Like this, I'm like, get him, my guy. But my thing is, how long do you think these take to make?
They can't take that long. We've watched them. They're not like,
no,
they're not like, if anything, the editing has to be harder because you're true. Like, you have to edit into 2 minutes and then multiple
really good
parts.
Point. Yeah, they're not doing like an hour's worth of takes for each like scene. But Shane said like they're soap opera-y. So like the intent is to be bad. And I'm like, you're right. Like there could be some hidden, somewhat decent actors in here, but they don't want that.
I think we've seen some decent actors in them and we're like, oh, this one's pretty good, but the other ones are pretty terrible. So
it's the writing does them dirty too.
Yeah. The writing's terrible. So then Jason shows up, he comes to set, and Shane is helping Jason get his foot in the door to do more micro dramas, which Jason has done some. He's usually the bad boy or the boyfriend, but Shane just sees like a lot of potential in Jason. They even acted together, like practiced in a scene. I didn't understand what was happening. I couldn't tell when it started.
I couldn't tell when she was in character or giving notes.
There was no action, you know what I mean? No. So then they discuss the trip. Shane tells Jason how Angelica was a little too much and he ended things with her, but however, he's still attracted to her and he has a great time with her when there aren't any dramatics around. So he's a little confused and she's getting new boobs. So who knows? Jason's like, I still haven't gotten an apology from Angelica, which whatever.
You won't, my guy. You won't.
So then Shane asks Jason about Natalie, and Jason acknowledges that Shane and Natalie had a thing. Natalie has a big heart and whatever. Shane is basically like, just go for it. I don't care. And Jason's like, okay, I might. That's like the whole thing. That's great. So then we go to Tom Tom. Venus is here with Parker, who we also know is Audrey's roommate, and they get seated in Ryan's section, which it seems like Tom Tom's pretty empty, so plenty of room in Ryan's section. Okay, so Venus has had so much to do for gay pride, and he loves hanging out with just gay people because the straights are on a different time, and they just don't want to talk about dick.
Facts.
I get it. It's like when you want to go out with the girls, you want to go out with the boys, you want to go out with the gays. I get it.
I don't want to have to over-explain things or like I just want to be myself. And
or
no
deal
judgment.
with a straight person being like, I can't believe you guys
like
do
I'm
that.
not a zoo animal for you.
Parker asks Venus what his type is because he's heard, but he wants Venus to confirm because Parker's heard Venus likes burly men, and Venus says he loves a big back man who can really eat, which I love that.
Also, Parker's good at hitting beats with this crew. So, like, let's bring Parker in as a B character next year, Vanderpump Rules crew.
And he's interesting. I'm, like, interested in Parker.
Yeah.
Well, Venus hasn't been with anyone since he was 20 years old. He needs a correction on his sex life. He did, though, get his dick sucked in the parking lot at West Hollywood. And 2 years ago at SUR, Venus didn't know how long he would work there. So he had sex, or he needed to have sex in the VIP bathroom, but he ended up just kissing someone, and then they went to the backseat of Venus's car. He had the worst blowjob ever, but his cum hit the top of the ceiling of the car, and then it was all over the guy.
Oh my God. There is so much happening in these stories, and I love it, and I want more of Venus and his, like, romantic life. I want him to get out there and for his own sake, whether he shows us or not, but like I love Venus through and through. Everything that has him involved, I'm obsessed with. I like
Venus. And Ryan joins and he's like, what the fuck are you guys talking about? And Parker's like, Venus is a little pent up. We gotta get him laid.
We got to get him some action. Absolutely.
So they talk about Pride. Venus is very excited to host. West Hollywood is a safe space. He talks about how his mom and dad didn't see eye to eye with Venus and didn't understand it when he came out because Venus was so good at pretending to be straight. Like he would ask to go to Hooters and his parents just believed that he was straight, so they were confused when he came out, which is so funny. Imagine him just being like, can we go to Hooters, please? And then, like, a year later, he's like, yeah, I'm gay. And his parents were like, but you love the boobs at Hooters.
You love Hooters.
You loved those boobs, though.
if Jax Taylor wasn't a terrible person, Jax Taylor would be all over like Twitter right now being like, I'll take you to Hooters again. Who cares if you like boobs or not?
Well, it reminded me of, the comic Fortune.
No, but
I forget her last name, but she was great. She was in the Mindy Project. But her main stand-up thing is like she lived down south, and like on Sundays after church, they would go to Hooters. And she's like a lesbian now, so she's like, yeah, I loved Hooters.
It's the opposite.
But she was like, I would always be like, yeah, let's go to Hooters. But like that was just where you went in our town. It was like the nicest restaurant, and she's like, and it was awesome. But she loves Hooters. And then he talks about how he went to live with his grandma and he didn't really see his brother and sister a lot. And Ryan said, I love Ryan. Ryan is so gay. He goes, no offense, but this makes me so happy to be from New York. And Venus is like, no offense taken.
You know what? You got to take your blessings where you got them, and growing up in an inclusive environment. Ryan's like, I never realized like this is what was going on in like the Midwest, the center of the country.
I'm in liberal New York, and I didn't have to struggle to be gay like
I
you.
didn't have to fake loving Hooters for the boobs. Like, didn't have to go through that hurdle.
Oh, so Venus and his family, though, are currently in the best place ever. He calls his mom every day. His dad watched all seasons of Vanderpump Rules just so they would have something to talk about when Venus worked at SUR. That is so cute.
And that's before he was ever on the show. Like, that is the nice... Oh, I'm so happy to hear his, like, parents have come around and they have a good relationship now.
That is so cute. That's so dad, too, to be like, hey, I learned this one, I did this one thing. Now we can
went
chat.
So hardcore into this one sector of life to try to, like, bond with you over. And Venus is like, you don't have to watch the show to, like, care about my job.
One time, and this was recently, it was, like, in COVID, my dad goes, hey, did you know in High School Musical, they didn't actually use Zac Efron's voice? It was a guy named Drew Seeley. And I go, yeah, I've known that since 2006 when it came out. And he goes, oh, I read an article on it for you. And I went, thanks for trying to bond.
For you.
Thanks for trying to bond. But if you don't think I know who Drew Seeley is,
my dad is actually really good at stuff like this, that he would watch my shows with me. He watched The Hills with me every single episode, every single season. I mean, we didn't like talk about it, but we would just sit on the couch and I would watch it and he would be there.
Unfortunately, my dad has only seen one scene of Teen Mom where they kiss on the lips, and my dad was like, I don't like your TV anymore.
And that, he was like, never am I watching reality TV ever again.
Unfortunate for me. But anyway, so Venus's new era is letting love flow his way, and Ryan says Venus now has a support system in West Hollywood, and they will never let that happen to him again.
See, this is what I was looking for from the like Lisa sit down, and I'm happy we got it later in the episode.
So then we go to the car. Kim, Marcus, and Venus are all driving somewhere where Venus has a whole chicken and a tube of ranch in the back seat.
I've never felt more seen in my life because I was like, if you're hungry, get after that, my guy.
And then we go to the beach. It's Sir DJ McKenna's birthday, and the whole crew is here. Except Audrey's late. So Demi's like, hey, Chris, where's Audrey? And Chris is like, I don't know, we took a step back. He has processed what Audrey said, though, so he does still want to talk to her, get some closure, which I think is fair. Audrey says she is sad. She broke up with Chris, but she does really like him. I think she doesn't want to end up hurt with Chris, so she's going to just be hurt without Chris. Which I do think there are some concerns, and that's fine.
Yes, because her big one is like, when when filming wraps, she doesn't want to be sitting there wanting him and for him to have just been doing this for the show. And the things she talked about in her interview chair all lead to he's just doing this for the show. The fucking mad bitches in Bali, unrelated. I don't care about it. Just poor timing, terrible moment. But I think that's what's hard for Chris is like, they're not ever going to say why she's actually breaking up with him on camera because it's the show. So like that is leading to him being very confused.
Agreed. Okay, so Marcus and Kim go on a walk. He pretends to propose, but he's not actually. He says when he does propose, it will be epic. So instead of being proposed to, they just stare at the waves. Jason and Natalie are flirting. Venus is drunk. Chris and Audrey awkwardly talk a little about how fun this is. And then Chris is like, we'll have a chat later, like eventually, because like there should be time. But like, unless you think differently. And Audrey's like, no.
Audrey does not want that to happen at all.
This
it's like,
so
you don't
awkward.
have to announce that we're going to talk at some point in a vague term. Like, this is weird.
So there's a game of volleyball that happens. Natalie's wearing cowboy boots, and then it's time to go to Tower 12. Jason does content to show all of his followers what a California bar looks like, because it is so different than a Florida bar, from a Texas bar, from a Chicago bar, from a Jersey bar where he's from. You wouldn't even know. You wouldn't even know.
I almost said, oh, the difference is like they have a beach right there and they can, but I have a beach. I have a beach in Chicago. Like, I can walk from my beach to a bar, my guy.
Jason then calls Natalie his little lima bean, which...
Am I crazy? I thought that was actually kind of cute. I kind of like that as a pet name.
I think it's cute as I'm saying it. I didn't like Jason saying it.
No, because they're not actually anything.
And he says, my little lima bean, which I didn't like the cadence.
Yeah.
Natalie has a hobby, and that's to get a little drunk and make out with people. So she makes out with one of McKenna's friends named Allison, and then Allison is like, I think Natalie is so hot. And Jason's like, same, you guys should kiss some more. And so they make out, and Jason's loves
just standing there watching.
He's loving it. Which, okay, can I say something? I get like, okay, two girls making out so hot, but like, I don't like this idea of like, yes, it's two straight girls making it. Like, I don't know. It's like a fetish. It feels like we're fetishizing it.
It's like also Jason like sitting there watching me like more. Like, it's weird. Like, I love Natalie just being a makeout slut when she gets drunk. Same. And she kisses guys, she kisses girls, like, fine. I love being the audience watching Natalie just be drunk, doing whatever she wants. Not that I'm like, kiss a girl, yeah. It's the way Jason goes about it. I'm like, you're gross. Like, that's weird. Don't make me be on Angelica's side now.
If she kissed anyone else, that's a man, he would hate it. But because it's a woman,
very good point.
It's okay.
But it also just feels like he's like, oh, you're doing this for my enjoyment. And like, I'm not doing things for you.
It's so weird. But she also kisses Jason somewhere in there. So then Marcus and Kim talk about how they would never, or like someone asked Marcus if him and Kim would ever have a threesome. And Marcus is like, no, Kim would never let me have a threesome. But then he's like, Kim might let us have a threesome and then kill the other girl and me. That's more like Kim's threesome. And I was like, yeah,
let's do it.
Out. Yeah. So, let's try it out. See what happens. Yeah. So then Chris and Audrey talk. And Chris says a lot of stuff without saying really anything at all to begin with. He talks about how he wants something serious. He talks about how he likes Audrey but doesn't know what happened to them. All while in the background, Jason and Natalie are making out. Truthfully, I couldn't even take notes because I didn't know what Chris was talking about. He talks about how he wants to order food with someone. He just wants to have someone over to order food with them.
Because
that was fun.
I get the concept of what he's trying to do, but it's concepts of plans, you know? Like, he's like, yeah, no, I would want to take this a step further and like here are the vibes I'm feeling about that. Instead of just saying like, hey, it sounds like you ended things because we weren't taking the next step. And I do want that. And so here's the action plan. Like, I want to make dinner with you once a week. Or like, I want to do this. He's like, yeah. And like couples, like they eat meals together. And it's like, what does that mean? What are you talking about right now?
You know, Audrey, it's great to see you because I'm happy you're here. And sometimes we could eat meals and hold hands, but then sometimes we don't. And we can't go to Universal
because
again.
Like, couples do those things.
Yeah. Yeah. Look at Natalie and Shane. They're making out. People make out. That, like, literally, I have no idea what he's talking about. So then Audrey says, look, I don't want you to change your tune just because, like, I ended things with you. Yeah. Like, you don't have to now be into a couple. And Chris says when he's with Audrey, he feels free. And 2 weeks ago, he was thinking about having a future with Audrey. He wants her. He wants them. And this is where Bravo zooms in on Parker.
My guy. My favorite person.
Yuck. Disgusted by this. He is surprised. And then he hears Chris say that he wants her, he wants them. And Parker rolls his eyes up to
because Parker's
the moon.
Like, we're done here with this relationship. But now because she dumped you, you're like pretending that you wanted all these big things that she wanted, but you're not doing any of it. Because it's not like he came here being like, I want to be with you. And here's my, like, you wanted something serious, and here's how I am serious about you. He's like, I could be serious. You wanted serious? I could be it.
Look at me. I'm seriously talking about couples ordering food and holding hands.
Not that we're going to do it.
Listen, I'm seriously considering maybe having you as a potential girlfriend in the far away future. That's so serious.
Because it seems like you want that, so I will make it, like, put it under my own consideration and think about doing that in the sometime near future.
I made a calendar reminder in 3 weeks to see if maybe I would consider thinking about you seriously being my girlfriend in the near future.
Yeah, I put a thing on my calendar to check in with myself to potentially have a touch base with you about whether or not I should take you on a date.
Yeah, but first I should call my cousin to see if he still wants to get mad bitches.
If we're gonna be fucking mad bitches in Bali.
I'll check in on that too. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, no, it's I have that placed for the Monday after I come back from fucking mad bitches in Bali.
Yes, I will then consider maybe having you as someone to order food with no particular label. Are we good?
Are we good? So we're back on.
Parker's like, what the fuck? So Audrey's confused, but she says this seems really genuine.
No, so I was so mad at that.
I know, I'm so upset. She tells Chris she needs time to readjust, and she believes him, she thinks.
Believe him about what?
This whole episode was nothing. We didn't get a breakup because they got back together. We didn't get new people. We didn't get new couples. We didn't get any drama. All we got was Venus talking about being gay, and that was it.
They're making me yearn for Marcus and Kim breakups because at least those have substance and at least we end in a different place than when we started.
Somehow Marcus and Kim, besides Venus, were the best part of this episode. At least now we know they're raw dogging it. If they get pregnant, we're not going to be surprised. At least it gave us something we didn't know.
That I'm like looking into the future for something. Like, are they pregnant? Are they getting engaged? Are they like doing insane behaviors?
A pregnancy scare at this point. Like anything.
Why am I rooting for a pregnancy scare?
Why am I rooting for pregnancy? That's never me. So next time, Angelica's back with her big boobs. Venus finds out that Kim and Marcus are raw dogging it, and he's just as horrified as we are. Audrey is doing a stand-up comedy show, and she insults Angelica, which it better be good, okay? We've seen a lot of comedy. Well, Ariana takes her sketch comedy very seriously.
Here's the thing, though. Angelica storms out, and I'm looking forward to that. Like,
that's awesome.
This is going to be mean of Audrey, but I'm here for it.
I'm here. Every part of it. Okay, so it's time to do accepted and blocked. I believe it's an even number, so that means it's my turn to go first. I'm going to start with accepted. I'm accepting Venus because I hated everyone else in this episode.
I agree with that.
You want to double it? You want to just double Venus?
I have to because I cannot give it to Marcus or Kim for raw dogging it.
They were the next best part of the episode.
I know.
Terrible. We can't block them. Immediate agreement to not block them. The best
Agreed.
Parts, possibly.
Agreed. But they also cannot get an acceptance for that.
Yeah. No. Okay, I think I'm gonna block Jason because how do you not know Lisa's order? You're such a weird fucking plant. At least act a little better. If you were on a show called Dated and Related, like you can act a little bit better for this. Like, come on.
Give me something. I have to give it to Chris because that was a brutal end of the episode, and you ruined my life with that.
Oh, gold star for Parker. I think we can't really accept him because he's not.
I know. But he's my everything, and I'm telling you, Vanderpump Rules, if I have to keep watching this fucking show, you better give me more Parker.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so that was it. It turned out to be an hour episode. Who would have guessed? Half of it was us talking about nothing. It was us
talking in circles like Chris talked in circles.
Yeah, absolutely. Somehow better. I don't know. Do all the things I mentioned at the beginning of the episode. And with that, love ya.
Thanks for joining. Bye.